I just hope people are more courteous and take turns when roads are super built up with the snow and, just wait, be patient, please.
I walk to school. It's like half an hour walk for me. So please clean your sidewalks. Please, please, please. I need to get to school on Tuesday.
It makes driving and walking pretty difficult.
They're trying to make the most of it despite the impending storm forecasted to dump at least a foot of snow in our area.
It's just not easy to keep up with how much is coming and where to put it.
I like the snow in general. I don't like cleaning it up too much, but it gives me a good chance to work out a bit.
We're about a month removed from that major late January snowstorm that dumped about 15 inches on the city, and you can see here in Silver Lake, some of these side streets are still clogged with massive snowbanks. And even downtown, melting snowbanks made for a slippery and uncomfortable walk Friday night in the capital city. But earlier in the day, the mayor said that cleanup this weekend shouldn't be an issue.
We've had multiple 3 to 6 inch storms, even since the major snowfall, all of which were handled well and without complaint.
It's that late January storm that has continued to haunt Mayor Brett Smiley and the city's snow cleanup credibility.
It was when we got 15 inches of snow that we really got behind and didn't meet our neighbors' expectations. And so I don't have any pressing concerns about Monday's storm. It's not of that scale.
But based on current forecasts, it very well could be, though the DeGilios hope the mayor is right for their sake.
We can only hope, but it's pretty dangerous.
Just needed some. I haven't been able to find it in the store, and glad the city has some, but the line is crazy long. I was here for 2.5 hours.
Some Providence residents picking up free salt Saturday feel they still had to pay the price of patience, while others were just happy to have their 5-gallon bucket filled before the snow falls.
The line is really long. I had to wait almost 2 hours, but it was worth it because it's a great help for the community. It's sold out everywhere and it's really expensive. Sometimes it's $25 even for a bag.
I think it's great. I just think that line is ridiculous, but I think this is really good. It's very helpful.
But there was an alternative to waiting in the long line of cars for those willing to ditch the wheels and make the trek on foot.
I came up Eddy Street and I'm walking all the way down. I'm with my roommate, so it took probably 5 minutes of walking. We've been in traffic for about 45 minutes, so.
Providence Councilman Oscar Vargas had been advocating for the city to give away free salt in the wake of last month's storm, and a resolution was ultimately passed at the council's February 5th meeting. He was on site as people filled up their buckets.
We came together at a table with the mayor and my colleagues, and we decided to do it. This is the best we can do for the constituents. We are very sympathetic with people because there's a big need out there. There's a big need for salt, and then so they can help the sidewalk clean.
We know that Rhode Island knows a lot about snow, but this storm is significant.
Governor McKee holding an emergency briefing in Warwick Sunday afternoon ahead of what's expected to be the biggest winter storm to hit the state in years.
Stay off the roads.
The governor announced he's declaring a state of emergency, implementing a statewide travel ban starting at 7 Sunday night.
Travel conditions will be dangerous to impossible.
This will be the second major snowstorm to impact Rhode Island this year. After a late January storm dumped over 15 inches of snow across the region, this one looks to pack a more potent punch with higher and heavier totals plus strong winds up to 60 miles an hour.
How long should people prepare to be without power potentially?
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. So we're anticipating 100 to 150,000 outages. It's going to be a multi-day restoration effort.
And the roads are of particular concern after portions of I-95 through the heart of Providence were blanketed with snow during the last storm. It begs the question.
How can you reassure residents that if they need to get to the hospital, that an ambulance is not going to have to drive over a snow-covered I-95?
We'll clear the snow as quickly as we can.
Is it going to be blacktop during the storm? Absolutely not. We have to be realistic. We're talking up to 4 inches per hour of snow.
Well, what better way to illustrate how fast the snow is starting to fall, even in these early stages of the storm, than to just look at how much I've accumulated here, standing out here for about 10 minutes. This is a serious storm already getting going here. Earlier today, we saw plenty of people at the supermarket stocking up. They're worried they may have to be stuck at home for quite some time.
My biggest concerns are probably mobility and power. The city has had issues with plowing, and I live on a dead-end street. So I don't expect to be getting out for at least a couple days after the storm.
Sonia Morin says Fall River can be a tough place to live when a snowstorm like this begins to bear down, and with Massachusetts leaders warning Bristol County is expected to be one of the hardest hit regions in the state, she isn't taking this one lightly.
Definitely make sure that we're stocked up on salts, that all the shovels are out. Our area seems to frequently lose power during storms, and with the winds especially, I can see us losing power anywhere from a few hours to several.
And before the worst of the storm arrives late Monday morning, state and local leaders are urging residents to make sure their cars are parked somewhere that won't interfere with snow removal operations.
I'm like parking in the street, so right now my car is like in the corner, so it's probably going to be buried again for the second time, because the last storm my car was like halfway buried, and now we have to like get my car out of there. And the streets, let's see how the streets are, because the streets from the last storm, Fall River, has been very icy.
Earlier on Sunday, MassDOT officials said the expected rate of snowfall, particularly during the Monday morning commute, will make it impossible for snowplows to keep up, and the cleanup will likely extend well into the coming week.
This is not one that we want to take lightly, and we want everyone to realize that they need to take this very seriously. It's for your own benefit. It's for the benefit of our employees and our emergency responders.
I thought I saw we were looking at 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. I'm going to step outside of the picture so we can look at what's behind us. These winds right now are insane. The snow is just coming down to the point where if it catches your face, it kind of feels like it's piercing your face. Maybe that's from frostbite a little bit. Maybe just that's from how it's cold it is. But there's plow drivers already in the parking lot we stayed at last night, the Aqua Blue, in there against it, just across from the Coast Guard house. We talked to them a little bit earlier. I kind of got an idea of what their game plan is looking like today. They said right now they're just trying to really kind of focused on getting this parking lot done, and then they will go back home. They'll probably take a little bit of a nap, come back out a little bit later, hopefully as it starts to die down.
You could probably see it on my face. The wind is really the big talker here in Bristol County. Just like you said, Bristol County is one of the areas that's projected to receive the most impact from this storm. I'll step out the camera just to show you a big look. I mean, covered in snow. We do see a plow driver out here working the hotel area where we're staying in, and you can just see the snow kind of staying right here stuck to the sides. But the wind is just blowing all on my face everywhere. And actually, I know Governor Healy was just saying, stay off the roads. We have seen a few cars go by, and I'm wondering where are they going, because this is nearly impossible to even drive through, to even see.
We're checking the Providence area. Let's continue our Team 10 coverage. Molly Levine, she's driving around with her car.
Trying to drive around. Yeah. Yes, Molly, at one point you guys had to stop, right?
Yeah, I mean, Allison, Mario, pretty much stopped right now. If anything, we're going 4 miles per hour on the highway. We're on Route 10 heading towards 95. We just passed the Atwells Avenue exit. Let's turn the camera around so we can see what we're looking at. These are whiteout conditions. We're heading towards downtown now. It's hard to see. It's really hard to see out there. The visibility is extremely poor. This is why there is a travel ban in effect for essential workers only. We have right now our flashers on, and we're moving so slowly. But if you're a nurse or doctor or essential worker trying to get to work this morning, you need to do so at a very slow pace. Snail's pace at this point is what we're driving. You can barely see out the windshield here, so definitely important to take it slow if you do need to, for whatever reason, go out this morning. We're now looking at, you can kind of see the exit signs, 195 and 95, or you're going towards downtown see, this is hard to see exactly what we're talking about here. It's extremely difficult to see. We're going to probably head towards downtown at this point, maybe get back to the area where it's, right downtown, so you're right there, and you know that the plows are going around.
I was trying to get to work. I come down 295 from the Cumberland area. I am on the overpass off 295 at the landfill because I followed a plow path that was down 295, but it went up the ramp for the landfill, and 295 wasn't cleared. So I'm like, I got to get off here. And that was my fear as I was driving here. I could see the ramps weren't plowed, and I actually got stuck getting on the ramp to 295 and again trying to get onto 295 from the ramp in Cumberland. I had to dig myself out. You said I've been doing this 25 years. I've never seen it this bad, and I'm questioning my life choices right now. The good news is, I'm on the overpass near the landfill, and actually here comes a plow right now. They've plowed right here, so I'm not stuck in snow, but there's really, I could just be making loops on 295. I think I would just have to stay on the highway for a very long time. And even on the highway, there were cars off the side of the road because there was, I would say from like 146 south to where I am here in Johnston, it was basically down to pavement like this. But then again, the problem is it's one lane, and if you get a little bit off to the side, you're in a foot of snow and you're stuck. And I felt bad because I was passing people, and there's really nothing that I felt like I could do because you're just going to get stuck and you're in the middle of the highway, which is not a safe place to be. As I said, I feel like I'm somewhat marooned because I feel like I could just keep doing loops on 295, and that's about it at this point. But in the about 20 minutes I've been here, I've already had 2 state troopers come by and make sure I was all right. I think again one was questioning my sanity. So I would not advise going out on the road. Again, I've never seen it like this in 25 years. I've never had to dig myself out, and I had to do it twice, again because of the getting on the ramp to try to get onto 295, and then again to get back onto the highway because the snow is just piled up. I mean, it's feet deep, and that's kind of what's happening here. I mean, you can see where the plow just came by, but there's like piles and piles of snow. I saw tractor trailers off the side of the road. I saw sedans. I saw SUVs. So in a lot of ways, I feel fortunate that I made it as far as I did on 295. I would not advise it to anyone at this point. It's just not worth it. And again, in the time I was on 295, I didn't actually see any plows, except that one lane for a good 10 to 15 miles was down almost to the pavement. Allison and Mario, again, I mean, the conditions are brutal, and I had to stop almost to a dead stop on the highway, even though the road was most cleared because there was no visibility, and I wanted to make sure I didn't go off the highway. Like, I was concerned that I was going to go off the side of the highway.
And then if you get stuck, you're worried you're going to get hit because nobody can see you.
Right.
You can hear from Brian's voice how
right.
excited
The good news,
he is.
yeah,
Yes.
I could see cars off. I could see, cars off to the side of the road that were stuck. And again, I don't know how long they're going to be there. It's just, I saw one tow truck trying to move one car, but it's like, I just don't know how fast they're going to be able to get there. So again, it is just not worth it to go outside. Again, I've never seen the road conditions like this, and I've driven to work in snowstorms and by blizzard. I've worked in blizzards. I'm trying to remember at what point I drove in or not. But yeah, it's just not a good place to be.
Look at this. Look at this talent. Okay, he's been at Mount Wachusett before. He knows what's going on.
Look at how thick the snow is, too. It doesn't even look that fun. You know what I mean? Because the snowpack is so high, he seems like he's kind of digging it out, but he's loving it, right? And that's a beautiful spot. Our own Maddie Heim, she caught up with him earlier today. Here's what he had to say.
Join the elements. There's some snow laid out. No one's on it, so might as well get some reps in with the snowboard.
Where do you live?
Right here, Benefit Street.
I've never seen anyone snowboard Benefit Street. Is this a new? Have you ever seen anyone snowboard?
I have not.
Benefit
No,
Street?
I'm hoping others will join me. So come along.
I know this is a storm of historic proportion, but you've said it time and again that safety is the #1 priority and that lanes would be open for those emergency vehicles. Now, we've got crews around the state. They've seen off-ramps that are completely covered with snow, completely impassable. And then we're hearing that Eddy Street, which is one of the main arteries to get to the hospitals in downtown Providence, that's impassable. Why is that the case, and how are you working to rectify that issue?
Yeah, I'll let Bob really answer that question. I know that we're out and doing the work. We're targeted hospitals as well.
With the snowfall rates being what they are, there's absolutely zero visibility. It's just unsafe for our drivers to be on the road at that time. Now that the snowfall rates came down, they can see the road. They are out there in force. They're taking care of it. We're actually assisting the municipalities where we can, especially around the hospitals. You're going to see a lot of improvement soon, but when the visibility, when you have 2, 3, 4 inches per hour of snow, we just cannot. It's a zero visibility.
I don't think we're going to have power for a little while here.
Warwick resident Jeremy Mowbray is fed up with the blizzard of 2026.
They say, oh, we're going to get 6 to 12. Yeah, sure. And then, you know, here we are, 24 inches in the morning. Now we're 37 inches, I think.
And his frustration is well warranted considering this scene, a massive tree tearing down power lines on West Shore Road. Now his grandparents are without power, no lights, no heat.
So I'm going to try to get their generator out of their shed and bring it up to the house and help them out.
A little ways up the road, Kristen Armstrong is camped out in her car.
This is way worse than the blizzard of 78.
With no heat, she's just trying to stay warm.
It's getting down to about 52 in there right now.
But also staying optimistic.
We'll get through it. We always do. It's New England. That's what's to be expected, I guess.
And like true New Englanders, Mowbray says his grandparents are proving resilient, even in the dark. Are they holding up okay?
You know, they're tough. They tell me they're fine. I said it's going to be real cold, so I really want to get that generator going for them, that's all.
A historic blizzard in New England leaves almost 36 inches of snow on the ground.
Is this the most snow that you've seen in your life?
This is the most snow by far.
Leaving pounds of snow for Rhode Islanders to clean up.
How long did it take you to dig out your car?
It took me 2 hours and then another half hour of help.
Car stuck for the foreseeable future.
I tried. I attempted.
How much progress did you make?
I got to my headlight, then I gave up.
And then decided to call it a night?
I can reach the door handle. That's about it.
Dylan Cash lives on the west side and says that the main roads are plowed, but the side streets?
Any of them plowed? Any of them shoveled?
Not that I've seen so far on there. People are out and trying, but all the side streets are pretty much crotch deep.
But the vibes are high in Providence, the calm after the storm, as people venture outside for the first time.
It's beautiful out. It's white and it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Happy Monday. Yeah, I got my snowshoes on, all my snow gear. I'm warm, I'm happy.
Residents say they expect the cleanup will take days, if not weeks.
How long do you think that this is going to take to clean up?
Like mid-April.
So I'd say like a week.
A week?
Like a day and a half for like the main streets, but like my dad's house is like kind of tucked away and it's so covered still.
What's your guess? How long do you think it'll take?
I don't know, like 42 million hours.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
So I had planned to go door to door here in Richmond, but it wasn't safe enough to pass. So I turned to social media instead and asked people to send me photos and videos of what they were seeing. And let me tell you, they did not hold back.
It's nothing compared to January. That was light and fluffy, and this is very, very heavy snow.
On Sunset Drive, snow stacked up to knee height for most.
Plus the 16 we already had, and now another 26 on top of that. So this is monumental. This is a lot.
Neighbors like Patty spent hours carving narrow paths through towering drifts of snow. Across town in Wyoming, Megan Nerado sent us this video of a snowplow stuck at the corner of Spring Green and Charahoe Drive. The wheels were moving, and that's about it. Megan says it got free after a few minutes. On a farm in Hope Valley, Deanna captured the wind-whipping snow left, right, and center. The kind of gusts that make it impossible to tell sky from the ground.
Carly, where you going?
And in Richmond, John Moe and his family turned 2 feet of snow into a morning adventure.
2026.
Meanwhile, in Hopkinton, Becca Thornton rode shotgun in a plow truck, still clearing driveways at 8 p.m.
I just want to tell everyone to be patient.
Richmond has roughly 112 miles of town roads to clear. Town Councilor Dan Madnick says emergency routes are the priority.
It's going to be a lot of work, and it's not going to be cleared probably for a couple days.
Back on Sunset, Patty says this storm feels different. Heavier, harder, and humbling.
Pretty much a non-essential neighborhood, so we just look out for one another and help everybody, make sure everybody's safe.
Well, town officials tell me clearing all of Richmond's side roads could take several days, so they are asking for patience, reminding people that emergency routes and main roads are the priority.
This is the aftermath of the blizzard of 2026 right here. You've got side streets like this. This is right off Cranston Street, and as I'm walking down the street at the moment, it's hard to walk on through this snow. snow, let alone drive through this snow. You can see just the conditions. Imagine trying to get a car through here right now. Definitely a lot of cleanup left to do in Providence. You can see this car right here. They're going to have to dig this out, and we're seeing situations like this all across the West End. As the sun comes up, it's going to reveal more situations just like this. Now, we have seen some plow drivers this morning out and about, especially on those main roads. The main roads, for the most part, seem pretty passable. We're looking at Cranston Street over here, and you can see it's not to blacktop, but it is. We've seen cars drive on it fairly easily. Now, those are probably essential people as well as plow drivers that are making their way through to continue the cleanup effort. Of course, the big question on everybody's mind, how long is it going to take to clean up all of this snow from the roads and start to get back to some sense of normalcy?
We're right now basically in the heart of downtown New Bedford, right along Union and 6th Street. And as you can probably see, surrounded by snow. Now, this road, I mean, the plow people, they have been working this road, but as you can see, a lot of work still needs to be done. I think what's a true sign of how massive this storm was, you can see this Dunkin' completely closed. It actually said on the maps temporarily closed. And I mean, just living in New England, everyone knows when the Dunkin' is closed, we know the times are rough. You can see the snow is covering the entrance of this Dunkin' right here. So anyone getting up hopefully to get an iced coffee, a donut, will be a little bit disappointed. And then, you know, this sidewalk too. Oh, we have the dog walker right here, but you can see the parking meter is completely covered. I mean, this was once, that's a sidewalk, so you can see that the parking meter completely covered in snow.
Believe it or not, this is a street. So this is what we're dealing with in the Fox Point neighborhood. This is in the area where Brook Street and Sheldon Street meet, and you know, that travel ban has been lifted, but the only travel that these residents will do are on their feet, and that's not easy or a simple task by any means. So these are the side streets that we're looking at, which are still mainly covered. Now, the main streets, those look a little bit better. Plows have certainly gone through the main streets. I just talked to Mayor Brett Smiley, who said he wished the travel ban would have actually stayed in place because the more people on the roads, the more difficult it is to clear them. He said their priority is still the main roads and by hospitals, and he's already asked the state for help.
Will the city of Providence ask the state or the National Guard for help?
The city has already asked the state for help. We've put in a request to RIDOT to give us some of their equipment, and we asked for help from the National Guard yesterday to help people get to the hospitals. The National Guard does not have additional plow or construction vehicles, which is really what we need right now, but we are asking for all the help we can get. We put the request into the state. We're continuing to try to hire additional vendors. I've been on the phone with mayors in other states that didn't get as much snow as we did to see if they might have assistance to send us.
Now, the mayor says side streets like this one will likely take days to clear. And just to give you a better idea of just how high this snow is, it's past my knees, Tammy. It is totally past my knees. So this is certainly going to take a long time to clear. And just a reminder, that parking ban is still in effect.
We're stuck and the snow is up high, up to our knees.
Believe it or not, there really is a street somewhere under all of this snow.
This is wrong. If you take from Pavilion Ave all the way up Rugby Street, all the way Public and Prairie, it's all snow.
Francois Montero is waiting for city crews to come by and clear it out. So far, no dice.
We work for the hospital. We can't even get out of this place here.
And she's not the only one.
He hasn't seen one plow truck yet.
Anthony Whedon also needs to get to work. Instead, he's stranded at home, helping drivers who keep getting stuck in this mess on Pavilion Avenue. How many cars have you seen try and go through?
About 4. They did it coming through. They can pass, but they can't pass.
Drive around the south end for a few minutes. You'll see Eddy Street, a main road. There's some blacktop. You won't see Johnson Street, though, or Searle Street.
If there's an emergency, nobody's going to be able to get down our street. And it's very frustrating.
I would say, please, come plow the streets.
We found these two on Baker Street. They're tired of waiting for city crews and are taking matters into their own hands.
Shoveling the street since nobody's coming to rescue us.
It's very heavy and it's hard. And I fell twice yesterday. We paid the city. They should do a little bit more work.
Frustrations mounting as authorities preach patience and residents wait for help to come.
This street needs to be plowed. It's not right. The mayor needs to do something.
Mayor Mitchell opened today's remarks saying that the city got walloped, and the focus is now on the cleanup, which we're told it will be a multi-day effort. There's now over 100 plows working to clean the roads, plus 20 additional contractor pieces. The city has also reached out to state DOT for additional equipment. Mayor Mitchell says, though, they have a long way to go and that parking ban will continue to be in place so his crews can work. Yesterday's storm brought many challenges, with the wind constantly blowing the snow back onto the roads. And many customers still remain without power. Eversource crews also working to ensure power can come back on for those houses. Residents we spoke to are frustrated and want to see more of a priority on side streets that are in neighborhoods. And the mayor says to have patience and city plows are on the way.
Focus on the main streets and then forget the side ones and forget people like us, you know?
They've all been touched, so sometimes when people look outside their windows and say, like, the plows never come here. The plows hit every street yesterday. It's just a lot of those streets were filled back up again by virtue of a 70 mile an hour gusts. So that work will be ongoing.
You can see just the feet of snow that the plow has pushed over to the side here. And while it may seem like more of a remote road, it really is a critical one, according to town officials. And that's what brought the National Guard here today.
So we're bringing in the National Guard, activating the National Guard.
Situated aside Warden's Pond, this stretch of Warden's Pond Road serves as a common emergency route in South Kingstown.
There's a large over 55 community that's at risk and is constantly needing some type of medical attention from our EMS services.
But Monday, the blizzard blocked it off entirely.
You can see it, there's 6-foot drifts here. We could not respond with EMS personnel, or our plows could not move it.
Town manager James Manny says city-operated plows couldn't even begin to clear the road.
It became quite apparent that the town could not handle the emergency cleanup that we needed. I called the Emergency Management Agency and called the governor directly and asked for the National Guard or the DOT or both to come help us.
The National Guard, activated Monday for emergency snow clearing, took passes down the street Tuesday afternoon with a snowplow and blower, restoring access to town and emergency services for neighbors in need.
And then we're working with municipalities around the state around to identify projects like this that they're having difficulty dealing with.
As cold neighbors wait, power crews work along Warwick's West Shore Road. Power line problems after a utility pole snapped in one spot, and just down the road, residents tell us a plow hit a tree. The electricity has been out since early yesterday morning nearby. The thermostat reads 51 degrees in the Paul house.
We're still out. It's cold in the house. It feels warmer out here than it does indoors.
So are you actually glad to get outside and do some shoveling?
I am glad to get outside. I was going crazy inside the house. Oh, we did all right last night. Lit up some candles, played some board games, played some cards.
What was it like without the power for a day and a half?
Not good.
In these neighborhoods where some streets still have a thick white coating and cars are buried, Roy Beckett also now outside with the hours-long task of cleaning up snow. His power, though, came back on early this afternoon.
We bundled up with blankets and human warmth, if you will. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? The Rhode Island entities out there doing what they can to get everybody back together and back on, you know, so yeah, I'm glad it came on.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Power was out, so the house is kind of cold. You know, putting the stove on just to warm up, but...
Yeah, what was it like without the power during this?
Boring. Honestly, just boring.
Kyle Kusaglu also got his power back on early this afternoon. He's just finishing up clearing the cars in the driveway after about 8 trips outside, where he's not cold.
I'm sweating, so...
Yeah, I see you got the shorts and the t-shirt on.
Yeah.
New England blizzard, ready to go.
Yeah, as soon as I started getting rid of all this, especially with the sun, it's too hot.
I'm standing on a very large snowbank right now. Fall River got absolutely pummeled by that storm yesterday. Low visibility, high winds, insane levels of snowfall. Cars are buried. Side streets are impassable. Plows are just making their way through the streets now. City and state officials are saying that the cleanup could take days. It could take even longer.
The southern coast of Massachusetts waking up to tons of snow.
I think you all hit the jackpot in terms of the Commonwealth, the most amount of snow, the highest amount of winds, the most difficult visibility.
leaving the biggest mess for residents and city workers to clean up.
But it's a natural disaster, and we're right in the middle of it.
Conditions yesterday were so treacherous, plow operations were paused.
And at one time, vehicles were being pulled off, plow operators were getting stuck, our own vehicles were having some difficulty, and it just wasn't safe to be out. It's really hard to keep up with the storm the way you'd like to if in fact you have those conditions.
So many Fall River residents spent the day shoveling.
What are you going to tell people who are frustrated?
I'm going to tell them that we did the best we could with what we had. Sympathetic to their frustrations, I'd be frustrated too. But at the same time, this was a massive, massive storm.
Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan says they're working as fast as possible to clear things up.
We're going to be moving equipment. We had trucks on the road yesterday. We'll have a lot of trucks on the road today, and we're trying to open this stuff up.
And the cleanup could take days.
It's going to take some time just to get the roads passable, but even after that, there's going to be continuous work to remove the snow, especially from those sidewalk areas. You can expect to see equipment out to try to get rid of this snow for some time, at least over the next couple of weeks.
When there's a will, there's a way.
It's pretty creative. It was a good idea on their part, because what's going to go better in the snow than a canoe, right?
Coventry Fire called in for a well-being check for an elderly male right after daylight. Chief Kevin Cady says his Flat River Road home was a third of a mile from the curb.
When the crews got there, the driveway was unplowed, and all the trees were overgrown, heavily, kind of sagging down over the driveway. So there was no way of getting apparatus in the driveway.
Central Coventry Fire, Engine 7 and Rescue 4 were called in with the Department of Public Works. It was all hands on deck. But even with a backhoe, they had no quick way of getting in.
They had a canoe hanging up in the shed, and they got a little creative, and the guys put them in the canoe and dragged them all the way out to as far as where the backhoe could make it. And then they hooked them onto the backhoe, and the backhoe pulled them the remaining way all the way out to Flat River Road.
Chief Cady says that quick thinking likely shaved off critical time.
Probably an hour and a half at least.
The elderly man was transported to a local hospital in stable condition. Chief says this incident was just one of the many outside-the-box rescues crews responded to.
Plowed out 3 giant driveways myself, over 200-300 feet long, just to get patients out of their house and get the rescues to the door. We've been creative for a couple of days here, I'll tell you that.
Down here in Newport, the historic cobblestone streets can now say hello to a few feet of snow. We're standing in the middle of Coddington Street right now. It's one of those narrow one-ways in the city. Look at these cars here. The residents clearly not having fun with the snow. The cars will probably be stuck here for a while. It's tough for plows to get down the one-way. Now to Centerview Drive in Portsmouth, where the conditions are definitely better than Newport, but still, snow covers the street from left to right. We got mounds of snow, and look here too, little ice. Let's go over here, full circle, just off Centerview. Hasn't seen a plow yet. But the plows have been to the main roads. They're pretty clear. That's West Main here in Portsmouth. Crews working around the clock to clear them, and you can tell by the amount of snow on the side. Look at the stop sign. Here in Fall River, residents are definitely waiting for a plow to come. 41 inches here, and you're not happy.
Yes, definitely not. I live in a complex down the street, and we are not even plowed out, and it's bad.
How bad? This bad, and my feet aren't even touching the ground right now because the snow is so compact. Fall River residents are reeling. And those same feelings are being felt here on Tangent Street in East Providence. Just look, the street covered in snow. Homes are snowed in, but help is in the area. We've got a plow down here, and they just cleared Quarry Street. What have the streets been like here in East Providence?
Awful. Absolutely terrible. They just plowed this road about an hour ago.
Anyone is trying to set their watch to judge on time to clean up from last time. It is not a fair comparison. This is the most snow in recorded history. It's gonna take all week.